The remnants of the fortresses still exist, but the nation of Babylon has completely disappeared from the world map. Once one of the greatest empires, a highly developed civilization, and one of the most powerful ancient nations. Yet Babylon is now just a name passed down in history books. Why did an empire at the pinnacle of human achievement come to such a point of destruction? In today's video from Tales of Mythology Journal, I will tell you the story of Babylon and the fall of this civilization. Babylon was the capital city of the Babylonian Empire, one of the prominent empires in the Mesopotamian region. In ancient times, the name Babylon meant Gate of the Gods. In Hebrew, Babylon is also referred to as Babel. In reality, there were two states named Babylon in the past, the ancient Babylon and later Neo-Babylon. These two states dominated the region of Mesopotamia from the 19th century BCE to the 7th to 6th centuries BCE. Located between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, Babylon, though not rich in resources, benefited from the abundant water and fertile soil of these two great rivers. It is estimated that Babylon was the largest city in the world from 1770 to 1670 BCE and from 612 to 320 BCE. It was the first city in the world to have a population exceeding 200,000 people. The empire's territory could cover up to 900 hectares, equivalent to 9 million square kilometers. In its heyday, most of the remaining parts of ancient Babylon are now within the borders of Iraq, about 85 kilometers south of the modern capital, Baghdad. However, only a small portion of ancient Babylon has been excavated, and this site was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site in 2019. The earliest records mentioning Babylon date back to around the 23rd century BCE. Initially, Babylon was just a small settlement but rapidly developed into a major and powerful nation. King Hammurabi laid the foundation for this growth when he established the ancient Babylonian state. The ancient Babylonian Empire can be considered one of the oldest empires in the world under the leadership of King Hammurabi. Despite its short existence in the 18th century BCE, Babylon fell under the rule of Hammurabi's son. Afterward, Babylon experienced a long period of domination by the Assyrians and Persians under the leadership of King Nabonidus. Babylon broke free from Assyrian rule and overthrew Assyria around 612 to 605 BCE. Nabonidus ascended to the throne and established the Neo-Babylonian Empire, also known as the Chaldean Empire. Babylon became the capital of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. With the rise of Neo-Babylon, a new golden age began. Nebuchadnezzar II, the son of King Nabonidus, became a great emperor and created one of the most powerful empires in world history. Under the reign of Nebuchadnezzar II, Babylon experienced continuous development in science, arts, military, and architecture. Prosperity resulting from victorious wars allowed Nebuchadnezzar II to undertake massive construction projects in Babylon and the surrounding Mesopotamian region. He ordered the complete reconstruction of the kingdom's land, paved important roads with stones, and built magnificent structures like the Tower of Babel. The tower symbolized the connection between heaven and earth in biblical narratives and was an iconic symbol of the empire. Among Babylon's constructions, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon is particularly noteworthy. Tradition holds that King Nebuchadnezzar built this massive hanging garden next to his palace for his wife Amytis, who missed her homeland. The garden is considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Babylon's city walls were also architectural marvels of the time. According to some accounts, these walls were 48 meters high and stretched over 17,000 meters around the city, with a large moat fed by the Euphrates River to prevent external invasions. The grandeur of Babylon that we know today, especially its iconic image, is the result of Nebuchadnezzar II's ambitious construction projects. Despite being a great king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar II is also associated with a particular accusation regarding his treatment of the Jewish people. In 587 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar II and his army invaded and devastated the kingdom of Judah, along with its capital, Jerusalem. He destroyed Solomon's temple and exiled the Jewish people to Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar II was regarded by the Jewish people as their greatest enemy, the destroyer of nations. In Christian traditions, Babylon is also seen as a symbol of the world and evil. The book of Revelation even prophesies the destruction of this empire. Nebuchadnezzar's excessively oppressive policies towards the Jewish people are considered one of the reasons leading to the downfall of Babylon. After Nebuchadnezzar II, Babylon gradually declined under the rule of subsequent kings. The last Babylonian emperor, King Nabonidus, focused only on indulgence without caring for the nation, causing discontent among the people and signaling the imminent collapse of the mighty Babylonian Empire. Around the same time, another great emperor, Cyrus the Great of Persia, emerged. He was hailed as the King of Kings and possessed a formidable Persian army. Cyrus saw the decline of Babylon and planned to overthrow its seemingly invincible rule. In 539 BCE, the Persian army began its conquest by capturing Opis, a strategically important city on the Tigris River, north of Babylon. Although the Babylonian army was mobilized, a nearby fortress, Sippar, fell to the Persian forces without facing any resistance. It is suggested that Cyrus had negotiated in advance with Babylonian commanders to avoid conflict. 2 days later, the Persian army marched straight into Babylon and captured King Nabonidus. They encountered almost no resistance from the Babylonian army. The historian Herodotus recounted the silent invasion of Cyrus the Great as follows. The king stationed part of his forces at the place where the river enters the city and another part at the point where it flows out. They were ordered to enter the city along the riverbed when the water was low. He dug a canal to divert the waters of the Euphrates and created a reservoir. At that time, the reservoir was just a marsh, and the river's waters receded enough for them to wade across. So, the troops stationed on the riverbank at Babylon waited for the opportune moment to advance into the city along with the flowing water. At that time, the water was shallow, reaching only to their thighs, allowing them to enter the city. According to many accounts, as the Persian army entered the capital, King Nabonidus and the gods were still reveling in their feasts. The arrogance and foolishness of this king pushed an entire empire to its ruin. The Persian army is believed to have won without a fight, as the Babylonian soldiers showed no intention of resistance. With a few clever tactics and the easy submission of the Babylonian army, Cyrus the Great easily breached the walls and water defenses that were once considered impregnable. King Nabonidus quickly surrendered to Cyrus, marking the end of the mighty. After capturing Babylon, King Cyrus liberated the enslaved Jewish people, allowing them to return to their homeland and rebuild the temples that had been destroyed. Therefore, the Jews considered him a messenger sent by God to deliver them from the shackles of slavery. Ironically, replacing one of the most powerful empires in history, Babylon faced a bitter downfall in just one night. Despite 2 centuries of ruling over the Mesopotamian region and achieving pinnacle development in its era, the historical chapter known as Babylon closed in 539 BCE. Even though Babylon now remains just a name, the immense achievements and rich legacy of this ancient civilization cannot be denied. The scientific and technological contributions of the Babylonians continue to play a crucial role in the development of humanity. The monumental structures built in Babylon will forever astonish people, much like other empires that rose and fell. Babylon, too, met its demise, but at least it had a glorious era.